up, YouTube? Topaz Yates back for another mixtape review, and this one is to that ILoveMakonnen Fun Summer 17, and I'm giving this one the red light because honestly, it is god awful of a project to the point that I would not recommend this to anybody right here, dude, on every level of it, dude. Starting with the whole fact that he said that he retired from the rap game or the music industry and all that stuff, dude, and he's back now, and this is something that I said a long time ago. You never believe anything that a rapper tells you, point blank period, because here's the thing. Way most rappers out here retire is they just disappear. They just honestly can't sell any more records to sustain, so they got to go ahead and do other things. That's how rappers retire. But if any rapper comes out and say that they specifically has retired, going back to Jay-Z when he tried to make that into something fashionable or such, you could tell that Jay-Z came back, all of these other rappers came back. It's more of a cling to attention. You want to bring attention to yourself that you may possibly retire, and when people notice it, they go ahead and try to get whatever you come out with. Like, it's become a strategy. And then on top of it, he's just never been a skillful MC at all. Like, he attempts to sing and he takes himself very serious with that singing, man, and I don't understand why. He really needs to let all of it go, or at least try to progress at this. Try and get him a ghostwriter. Go ahead and hire some people to do these singing balls and all of that he have in his mind in order to create a quality product, because there are points in this man where there's some quality production, but yet he's just too flawed of a person to be able to make anything quality. But let's start with that intro, that Killing Me, where it's just a super brief track right here where he's saying the same things over and over. What he's honestly trying to portray here is how he's just holding in all of these emotions and such that he feels as though people just aren't simply ready for and all that stuff, dude. And this is something that people need to take notes of that you never want to do. You always want to get out all of your emotions that you have within you. Like, when you have powerful emotions, man, get it out on a track some way or another, dude, because one, you can create some quality music by doing that, and two, by holding on to all of this stress and all of that stuff, dude, there's health issues that'll come down the line. You'll start to get panic attacks and anxiety and all of this stuff. The next song is that Super Chef, and honestly, this is the most erroneous song that he got on all of this project here, dude, because he's talking about himself in the third person here, talking about some kid that really is having a bad time and all of that stuff, dude, and he's asking ILoveMakonnen how to go ahead and get back to cooking up cocaine and all of this stuff in order to get back into the game. And that's just overtly erroneous because he's just bigging himself up the entire time with something just nonsense where people don't even talk like that. The next song is Paper Trees, and this one is one of those that are more disappointing because that production in there wasn't that bad. But yet, ultimately, it's a song where he's just talking about making money and all of this, but yet he's going to the side and talking about some other stuff too, about how he could pull somebody's dad, as he overtly have came out as gay not that long ago, which nothing wrong with that, but yet for him to try to say that like it's a dope punchline, man, it ultimately just shows you how flawed of an MC he actually is. The next song is Dark Blue. Now, what he means is Dark Blue is the car that he got where he's going out and bagging all of these women with it, and then he's playing all of these women at the same time, and he feels as though he should have a truck because he needs to be pulling and dropping them off and all of that stuff. A very simplistic and super dry concept, man, and then honestly didn't make a very good song. Now, Kiss for Me is easily the worst song off this project right here, dude, because this is him trying to sing this melody that he has in his head and all of that, dude, but yet he's taking himself way too seriously in order to try to pull that one off, because that takes way more skill than what he actually has. Like, maybe he could do some super simplistic something, maybe he could do some auto-tune, but he cannot do that. Even as the concept wasn't all that bad, where what he's talking about is broken relationships right here, but yet thinking fondly of the individual that you had the broken relationship to the point that both of you are thinking of each other, but yet you can't really connect. And you know, that's something that actually happens all the time, man, and that's why people try to go back and forth with the same people to do relationships over and over. But as Wale once said, that you never want to do a relationship the second time because most times the sequel sucks, and that's 100% accurate. You always want to remember the things that that individual angered you with, man. You don't want to remember the fondness because that's how you end up getting yourself caught up in a cycle. The next song is Line. Now, on this track, he's attempting to be lyrical and it just falls comedically short consistently here. Like what he said, he's posted up like a grandpa because he can't see or stand y'all. Like, I understand what he was thinking about trying to go for there, because older people, you know, they always just hate on the younger coaches and all that stuff. They always try to get people off their lawn. He's trying to play off of that and try to create a punchline for it, but that just falls so flat that it's really funny. The sad thing about it is, that's like the standard level of quality of bars that he has delivered, not just on this project, but throughout his entire career from all of the music that I've heard and such, dude. But then the last song off of this was that Lonely, in which the concept of it was kind of interesting, man, where what he's ultimately talking about here is a long distance relationship that ultimately fell apart and all of that stuff, dude, where whenever they go apart from each other, then they replace each other for the times, but yet when they come back together and see each other face to face, then ultimately they re-spark the love that they once had, which I've never heard of that ever happening and stuff, dude, but you know, it's an interesting thought process to have. It's just sadly the production in that overall song really wasn't about anything much like the rest of this project, and that's why I'm overall giving this joint, man, a 2 out of 10. But a quick recap here, man, the positives that I'm taking from this is nothing. Like, even though there are moments where I did enjoy some of the concepts that he had and some of the production was actually alright, each individual song was just so bad because everything else around them just went so wrong. While the negatives that I take from this is pretty much everything, dude. But this concludes today's review, man, and now we're going to jump into a brief instrumental from underground producer D Begun before we take some of your questions. In which this is a comment that I get a bunch of and such, man. People saying, you never really liked Jay Electronica and all of the songs that you've ever reviewed, you never gave him a preferable one. And I get that same kind of comment gives to every artist and such that I give somewhat of a critical review for. And that's honestly just a lie, 100%, because of the 8 songs that we got from him over 4 years, I do believe. 3 songs in that Road to Perdition, that Man Up, and that Holiday, I gave preferable reviews. Now, I didn't absolutely love them. There's always a little something that I would say could have done better or whatever, man. But in the end, I recommended those songs for people to go ahead and peep out. So for you to lie and just say, I don't like anything Jay Electronica has done, that just honestly takes away all of your credibility to actually say anything, because either you didn't do your homework and you're just overall exaggerating on some stuff, or you just don't understand what's going on. I hope you enjoyed the show. You can follow me at Twitter up there, and you can go to downloadpads.com, that's down there, to read today's article.